Dip it in shit.
Hello again my friends, news, specifically Destiny 2 news, and we got some pretty interesting stuff to talk about. A microtransaction controversy, a potentially new progression system, data mined info, Bungie's latest weekly update, and much more. In short, all the latest tastiest tidbits of info for your viewing pleasure. So pop off the top of your skull and let MoreConsole pour in some nutritious brain soup. Or you know, just watch this video, please.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Dip it in shit.
Yeah, just dip it in shit. Grab it by the corner and dip a little tip.
First up, what I'm calling the dip it in shit controversy, you know, because it's kind of like taking something cool and dipping it in shit. Okay then, so what the hell am I actually talking about? Let me explain. So then, Rolling Stone broke the story that Activision has been granted a patent that encourages players to purchase microtransactions. A patent that specifically targets multiplayer matchmaking in first-person shooters. Now, when you dig into how this patent actually works, well, it's all rather grim. This goes beyond cosmetic microtransactions like the bright engrams available in Destiny 2 or Overwatch's loot boxes. This patent actively disrupts multiplayer matchmaking in order to encourage players to purchase in-game items. It's a pretty sophisticated algorithm that takes multiple factors into account. So let me explain how this patent actually works. Now here's the exact wording for this patent: a system and method for driving microtransactions in multiplayer video games. And here's the exact wording for how this patent works. The system may include a microtransaction engine that arranges matches to influence game-related purchases. For instance, the microtransaction engine may match a more expert player with a junior player to encourage the junior player to make game-related purchases of items used by the expert player. A junior player may wish to emulate the expert player by obtaining weapons or other items used by the expert player. So let me break that down. This pattern is basically microtransaction matchmaking, actively matching newer players with more experienced players in the hope of tempting the newer player to be like, damn, I want to be like that guy, time to purchase me his shit. Now wipe the vomit from your chin because it gets worse. The patent goes on to say this: if the player purchased a particular weapon, the microtransaction engine may match the player in a gameplay session in which the particular weapon is highly effective, giving the player an impression that the particular weapon was a good purchase. This may encourage the player to make future purchases to achieve similar gameplay results. So yeah, even if a player does purchase an in-game weapon encouraged by this new microtransaction matchmaking, this system ain't done with him yet. The player may then get matched into a game where his weapon is super effective and be like, yeah, that was a lit purchase fam, let me get some more lit tings in it. And the poor sod at the receiving end of a spanking will be like, damn, I gotta get me that lit ting too fam, thus encouraging a vicious circle of microtransactions fam. I'm sorry for saying lit tings fam. And there's more. This system can also identify a player's specific gaming habits and use that info again to encourage microtransaction purchases. Here's what the patent says. In a particular example, the junior player may wish to become an expert sniper in a game, as determined from the player's profile. The microtransaction engine may match the junior player with a player that is a highly skilled sniper in the game. In this manner, the junior player may be encouraged to make game-related purchases such as a rifle or other item used by the expert player. So then, to summarize, this pattern is a sophisticated multiplayer matchmaking system designed to encourage the purchase of microtransactions, and what makes this also unpleasant is the manipulative nature of how this system works. So then, to summarize, this pattern is a sophisticated multiplayer matchmaking system designed to encourage the purchase of microtransactions, and what makes this also unpleasant is the manipulative nature of how this system works. Now, before we all collectively lose our shit, let's take note that this patent has not been implemented in any of Activision's games. Here's how Activision responded to this patent becoming public knowledge. This was an exploratory patent filed in 2015 by an R&D team working independently from our game studios. It has not been implemented in-game. And Bungie's community manager Deej was quick to point out that none of the functionality described in the patent exists in Destiny 2. So yeah, this patent only exists on paper, not in any game. But the fact that it exists at all is a very interesting insight into what the future could potentially hold, or at the very least, a future in which microtransactions are embedded deep in the DNA of any loot-based shooter. In 2016, Activision Blizzard earned $3.6 billion from in-game sales alone. Now, every article I've read on this issue describes this pattern as insidious, which means proceeding in a gradual, subtle way, but with very harmful effects, and it's hard to disagree. When microtransactions stop being merely cosmetic and begin to affect the way you actually play the game, well, that's a very slippery slope, but like I said, this pattern, for now at least, only exists on paper. Let's hope it stays there.
Dip it in shit.
Next up, a concept design for a new vendor rank system created by Reddit user Tiredness. Now this is interesting because it actually caught the eye of Bungie's community manager Cosmo, who replied to the Reddit post with this comment: "It's a good looking mock-up, I'll make sure the designers see it, thanks for taking the time to put it together and post it." As you can see, the vendor progression bar makes a return tracking the level you've reached so far. Below that, you can see the items that become available to purchase for Glimmer when you hit certain ranks. Rank 5 for shaders, a new EDZ emblem and rare mods. Rank 10 for a legendary EDZ ship, class items and weapon. Rank 15 for an EDZ Sparrow legendary shader, a heroic sector key and legendary mods. Now I love the idea of a heroic sector key, something to add a little spice and beefier rewards to the currently lackluster lost sectors. Rank 20 for an EDZ Mystic engram that contains special armor with specific perks that help out in the European Dead Zone. A complete set would grant bonus perks. We also have an EDZ aura that again grants special abilities when used in the European Dead Zone, and a ghost shell. And at rank 25 you unlock a new exotic quest and an exotic emblem. Now personally, I think this is a fantastic idea. If every planetary vendor had this kind of rank system, this would significantly increase the longevity to the end game grind, which at the moment is pretty much non-existent. Now like I said, this is simply a cool concept design created by an enthusiastic Destiny player. Thanks to Cosmo, perhaps we'll see something like this eventually implemented in the game. I've linked the full Reddit post in the description box below. Check it out, as it makes for a pretty interesting read. Now speaking of player feedback, check out this survey that Bungie has been emailing out to players. 4 of the questions in the survey asked players to compare the content from Destiny 2, specifically milestones and challenges, to similar content in Destiny 1, quests and Vanguard bounties. Here are the questions. In the first Destiny game, beginning with the Taken King expansion released in 2015, your larger activities were tracked using quests. What do you think about quests? Do you prefer quests from Destiny 1 or milestones from Destiny 2 for tracking your activities? In the first Destiny game, you could acquire smaller activities called bounties from various NPCs such as Xander for Vanguard bounties, Shaxx for Crucible bounties, Amanda Holiday for SRL bounties, and others. What did you think about bounties? Do you prefer bounties from Destiny 1 or challenges from Destiny 2? So yeah, it looks as though Bungie is keen to find out if the changes they made in Destiny 2 have been well received. How would you guys answer these questions? Leave a comment below and let me know. Next up, Bungie's latest weekly blog post. Lots of new information to get through, so let's begin. First up, Bungie announced the top 3 clans to finish the Prestige Raid. Clan Redeemed secured World's First, in second place Clan's Hand of Faith, and in third place Clan I Have a Life. Now there's some controversy surrounding Clan Redeemed's World's First Prestige run because one of the clan members can be seen using a heavy ammo exploit, or coil glitching as it's known in the community, during the Callous Damage phase. Now considering that Clan Redeem only won by 4 minutes, this has, for some people at least, thrown the legitimacy of the win into doubt. Now Cosmo responded by saying, "We have seen the reports that an ammo exploit was used in the Prestige Raid. This was not the specific exploit we were checking for, and we don't currently have the ability to detect it. We will release the top 3 finishers in our weekly blog post. You can make your own decision as to who should be celebrated." Next up, Bungie revealed that Raid Challenge modes start Tuesday, October 31st. An optional challenge will be added to a different raid encounter each week to spice things up. If you fail the encounter, you'll be notified with an in-game message. Now your reward for completing a raid challenge will be an emblem. As you can see, there are 4 new emblems to earn, 1 for each raid challenge. You are also guaranteed a raid drop for that encounter. Bungie is unsurprisingly keeping the challenges a secret. And while we're on the topic of the raid, here's what you get when you complete the Prestige Raid mode: an Imperial Aura, a Glory to the Emperor emblem, and Prestige Raid gear. Here's what the Titan's Prestige chest piece looks like, here's what the Imperial Aura looks like, and here's the exotic ornament you get for completing the Legend of Acreus quest. It's actually pretty sweet. Thanks to my pal and fellow YouTuber Martin for the gameplay. Link to his Destiny channel in the description box below, well worth a look. Next up, Trials of the Nine has been delayed until Friday, November 3rd while Bungie fixes emote glitching. And check out Bungie's latest hotfix, which patches all of Destiny 2's raid key problems. Raid keys will no longer be removed upon hitting the weekly factory reset will no longer be removed upon creating a new character and will no longer be removed upon logging into Alts for the first time in a new week. I've linked the full patch notes in the description box below. Next up, Bungie will be detailing everything you need to know about Destiny 2 Seasons during a TwitchCon livestream at 4:30 PM Pacific time, Friday, October 20th. They'll be answering the following questions. What does Seasons mean in Destiny 2? What will change from season to season? How will this evolve the Destiny player experience? And yes, I'll be making a detailed video about all this new info, so feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications if that sounds like something you'd like to watch on this channel. And finally, Bungie has released the content schedule for the first 3 weeks of Destiny 2 on PC. Remember, PC players can finally play the game Tuesday, October 24th, so not long to go now. Just be careful, because you don't want your eyeballs to melt onto your cheeks because of the 4K eye candy.
Dip it in shit.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this big fat news update. Now guys, if you like these 10-minute news videos, let me know by slapping a cheeky like on the video. If we can get to 10,000 likes, I'll be like, oh crikey, these guys want more of this kind of thing. So yeah, your feedback is always appreciated. Thank you very much. And if you'd like to watch another 10-minute news video crammed with info just like this one, click this image. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for daily Destiny content, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, until next time, Guardians.